Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to integrate Realistic House Kit with Survival Game Kit. So we're going to start by, in our Realistic House Kit, right clicking the main folder, select Migrate, OK, and then we're going to navigate to your project folder and then to the content folder that you want to migrate it to. So for me, that's here, and we're just going to let the files copy. So once your files have copied, we're in our Survival Game Kit project. We're going to open up the Realistic House Kit, go to Blueprints, and we're going to start with the doors. So we're actually going to go to Master Door, open that up. Going to go to Class Settings, and we're going to add the Survival interface, like that, and we're going to compile and save that. Now we're going to set some of these interface events up here. So the first one is going to be interactable. We're going to tick that. Then we're going to go to Interact Input Brush, drag out from here, and we're going to do Make Slate Brush. Set this to 48 by 48. We're going to set the texture to T_E_interact. Next we're going to go to Action. I'm going to set mine to Interact. So this is the text that displays on your player's screen when they look at the blueprint. And name, I'm just going to put door. And that should be everything for that, so we can compile and save that. And we can close out that blueprint. And we're going to go to our doors folder, and we'll open up door 1. I'm just going to show door 1 for an example. The process will be the same for all 4 doors. So in here, we're going to do event interact, and it will be this event here, event interact. And from that, we're going to do get master character. We're going to plug that into pawn, and we're going to do drag out from our player component and do client, server hit result. Then we will right click this, hit split struct, and from that we're going to drag out from hit component and plug it into interacted component. Now we can delete this node here, and we can replace it with our event interact, like that. So the process is exactly the same for all of the doors. Just compile that. Next, in our door blueprints, we're going to do event target. And we're going to create this event, and we're also going to do event not target. And here we're going to get our door static mesh, drag out, and we'll do set custom depth. And we're going to connect that up, tick the value here, copy and paste it, plug that in here, and untick it there, and make sure our target's plugged into our door mesh. So once we've done that, you can go ahead and copy the same process for all of these doors here. Next we'll do the garage door, and again the process is going to be pretty similar. We're going to do event interact. First we need to go to class settings, and we need to add our survival interface in here. If you ever have a problem with not being able to find the proper interact event, you can always go to class settings and make sure you have that survival interface added. So we can do event interact, and we can get the correct one. And from that we can do server hit. Same sort of process, split the struct, and from hit component we can plug that into here, and we'll connect that up to here. Delete that, and same sort of process from our first door. We can actually just go back there. We can copy these nodes, go to our garage door, paste those in. We're just going to replace our SM door with the garage door. And what this does is it allows our the outline highlight on our static mesh, so we can compile and save that. And you can do the same process for garage door too. So once you've set up your doors, like I've just shown you, you can go back to our blueprints folder, and we'll do the windows. So first we're going to go to BP master ext window, open that up, go to class settings, and again we're just adding the survival interface, and we can compile that and save. And we'll do the same process we did with the master door. So we'll do is interactable, tick that. Action text, interaction action, we'll just do interact. Name, we'll change this to window. And input brush, we'll do make slate brush. And we'll set the size to 48 by 48. Press the down arrow to show the rest of the options, and it's T_E_interact. And we can compile and save that blueprint. And next we'll go back to our blueprints folder, then Windows, and we'll start with window 1. And we can just run this compile here to get rid of that warning. Next we're going to do event interact, and we can go up to our correct one here, and we'll get master character, plug that into our pawn, and we'll do get server hit result. We can break that like that and plug our hit component into the hit component here. We can delete our old event there now and connect that up like so, and compile that. Now we can do our highlights, so we'll do event target and event not target, and here we will do our window panel, and we'll set render custom depth, tick the value, plug that in there, and untick it for not target. So you can just copy this process again for your other windows down here. So next, after you've done your windows, we're going to go back to our blueprint folder. We're going to open up the master kitchen cupboard, go to class settings, and we're going to add the survival interface again. Compile and save that. Then we'll head into our furniture folder. So I'm not going to go through all of these because the processes were really similar for each one, but I'll show you kitchen counter 1 for an example. We're going to do event interact, just like our other ones. We'll get server hit result, split that pin, and we'll plug component into hit component, and we can delete this old event. We can connect this up to here like that. Next we're going to do the you can compile that quickly. We're going to do the target, so event target and event not target, and it's a little bit different for this one because we have a drawer and a door and a drawer, so we want those to highlight separately. So we're going to do get player character, from there cast to master character, then we're going to get inventory component, then we're going to get client hit, we're going to split struct, and from here we're going to do an if, and then we're going to drag out from hit component, do promote to variable, we'll call this highlighted, and we'll connect that up to the true, and drag out from hit component again, do equals object, get our highlighted variable we just made, plug that in here, and connect that up to the branch. Then from here we're going to do set render custom depth, enable the value, and we're going to copy that down here, copy our highlighted node, plug that into target, untick the value, plug that into false, and this end into the set node like that. And we need to do our not target, so we'll just copy one of these, uncheck the value, plug that in there, and we'll get highlighted, and we'll plug that into target. So on any objects that have multiple components you can interact with, so like if you have 2 or 3 drawers, this is the setup you're going to need to use. So you can highlight individual parts of the blueprint. So we can compile that, we can save it as well. And we're actually going to go back to our blueprints folder and our master kitchen cupboard. And we have the interface events here that we can use. So for this, I'm just going to do is interactable, tick that on, action, again, just interact, name, we'll just call this kitchen, kitchen cupboard, and our interact input brush. Drag out from there, do make slate brush. From there, 48 by 48, and the image t_e_ interact, like that. And we can compile and save that. So you're going to need to repeat that process for the kitchen cupboards, and I'll show you an example of a blueprint that doesn't have a parent. So we can do the we'll do the lamp. So in here we're going to need to add this to our survival interface, like that, and we'll quickly compile, and we'll just do event interact. Get that up, and we don't need any input from the player component, so we can just delete the old one, and that should work nicely. And we again have to set our interface events, so is interactable, action, interact, name, just call this lamp, and our input brush, make slate brush, 48 by 48, image t_e_ interact, and we can compile and save that. So that's our lamp properly set up now. So you just need to go through each piece of furniture and set this up. Remembering, if you can't find the event interact event, you need to make sure that you've added the survival interface to that blueprint. So next we're going to go on to having the glass break when we shoot it or hit it with a melee weapon. So we're going to go into our survival game kit folder, go into blueprints, holdables. We'll start with the melee weapon, so we'll go to the master melee weapon, and in here we're going to need to make a few changes. So in the melee trace, so in event graph, melee trace, we're going to replace this node here with a multi sphere trace by objects, and we'll connect these up like here, very similar to how it's already set up. And delete this old one, bring that down here. We're also going to plug that into actors to ignore, move this down a little bit, add a pin to this make array, and we're going to change it to destructible, and we'll connect this up to here and to here, and we'll set the radius to 7, and that all looks good. So next we'll go into the give damage once, and we'll come down here, and I'm just going to move these down a little bit, and from our hit component we're going to cast to the destructible component, plug that into the cast failed on this node. Off that we're going to do detach from component, and we'll change these to keep world, And we'll also drag out from the component, and we'll do apply radial damage. So base damage we'll put to 100. Hurt location, or hurt origin, sorry, we'll plug into impact point over here. Damage radius we'll set to 1, and impulse strength we'll set to 1. And then from cast failed off of our cast hit, we'll plug it down into the set hitbox, and we can compile and save that. So now our melee weapons will destroy the glass. One thing I forgot to do is we're actually going to take these two nodes here, Control X to cut them, and we're going to go to our event graph. We're going to create a new custom function. We'll just call this break glass, and we'll change it to a multicast with reliable tit, and we'll need to add 2 inputs, and this will be a vector and a destructible component object reference, and we'll just call this glass and location. And then we can paste those nodes back here, connect it up to there, glass into target for both of the nodes, location into hurt location. And then we'll go back to our melee trace and then into our give damage once. And here we're going to drag out, and we'll do event break. Oh, you may have to compile first. We'll do event break glass. Let me double check. Compile it again just to make sure. Event break. There we go. I'm not sure why that wasn't showing up, but it's there now. We can plug that into there. Location into our impact point, and glass into the component here. So you can compile that, and now that's all set up, so glass will break when we hit it with a melee weapon. Next we're going to add this to our range weapons. So to save time, we're just going to highlight these nodes. We're going to use Control C to copy, and we'll go to our master range weapon in our blueprints holdable folder in our survival game kit. So open that up, and we'll go to our event graph, and over here we can just paste those in, compile it. You might have to give it a second because it has to compile all of the child blueprints as well. Okay, so once that's compiled, we're going to find the weapon trace event, which is here, functions, weapon trace, and then in here we're going to do very similar to what we did in the melee weapon. We'll drag out from hit component, cast to destructible component. We'll plug that in before this does implement interface in the branch, so we'll just move those out of the way, and we'll connect that up to true. If cast fails, we'll just continue the rest of the code as normal, and then if cast succeed, we will call our break glass event we just made, connect that up to here, location into impact point, and that looks good. And we can actually just copy these nodes and bring that down here as well. So same as before, connect it up, and cast failed into this branch, and location into impact point, and we can compile and save that. So once that's done, there are a couple of things that I just wanted to add. If we go back to our furniture and go back to our kitchen counter 1, in here we just want to add a is valid node to this highlighted. Otherwise you might get an error during gameplay. So we'll just connect is valid up to there, like that, and that should be good. Yeah, if you've copied and pasted this to your other kitchen counters, you just need to go through and add this is valid in before this set render custom node. So after all of that, you should be pretty much good to go with adding the interaction to all of your furniture. Again, if you can't find the event interact, make sure in the class settings of your blueprint you have added the survival interface. Otherwise that event won't show up. And also, if your text isn't displaying on your screen, make sure that you've set the interface events correctly. So that's interactable ticked on. You need your interact text, your interact name, and your interact input brush. So hopefully that helped you guys. Let me know if you have any problems. You can join the Discord. I'll link it in the description. So feel free to join if you have any questions. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching.